ask Vic, I'll ask you, what impressed you the most about how Baylor was able to finish off Oklahoma State in Stillwater?
You know, really, the thing is with Baylor, of course, me looking strictly at the defensive side of the ball, they're really kind of a no-name defense. Like, they don't have like a, Oklahoma, 2 or 3 guys that are dudes. They got good players. It's just they do such a good job. They play very, very hard. They do a really good job. These kids playing really hard, and they all do their job. They're well coached. They do, it's a lot of what we're preaching all the time. Do what you're coached to do, and do it as hard as you can. And that's what they do. And they're not out of gaps much. They're they make tackles when they have opportunities to make tackles. When the ball's thrown to them, they catch it. From an interception standpoint, they've got a lot of turnovers, and they haven't been just circus catches. It's been, hey, ball's thrown to you, you catch it. They stack those kind of plays. They're a bend, not break type of defense. Oklahoma State threw them the ball a couple times and turned it over, and that's kind of what they do. Is they're going to make you work for every yard you get, and they're just waiting for the offense to mess up, whether it's dropping, whether it's fumble, whether it's turning over, whether it's get a negative play. They've done a great job with negative plays. Quarterback trying to hold the ball a little bit too long instead of just throwing it away. So they really capitalize on offensive mistakes. They do a really good job.
So I guess them being in the right area is part of.
Oh yeah, and they can run. They can really run. Like Vic was saying, what they've done, they do the same thing on defense. They play with a lot of secondary guys, and they can really run. And they run to the ball, and they're always doing a really good job of trying to get the ball out as they tackle you.
Matt, you mentioned Baylor's penetration, rushing the pass, and things like that, but your offensive line has done well in pass protection. So when you're preparing this week, do you try to tweak for what they're doing, or is it, hey, is the message more keep doing what we're doing?
Yeah, it's if you look at their guys, when they get tackles for losses and they get sacks, it's really hadn't been off of their guys just doing, being just unbelievable players. It's about them doing what they're supposed to in the offensive line, making a mistake, whether he drops his eyes, doesn't get his hands up, maybe works in the wrong gap, and then these guys are just where they're supposed to be, and they're playing as hard as they can. It's like I tell my guys all the time, man, in this game, if you play as hard as you can, good stuff's going to happen. And that's really what they've done. I think their coaching staff's done a wonderful job with those kids. Those kids have really bought in. And like I said, when you watch them play, when you watch them on film, you get an appreciation for how hard they play the game. We got what I've challenged our guys to do is we got to meet that energy. We've got to meet and exceed that energy. We got to make sure we show up to play as hard as we can. You can't go out there and go through the motions against a team like this, which is what some people have done. They've beaten teams that are probably athletically better than them because they play hard every snap, and the team that comes out there to play them doesn't do the same. So we've got to meet their energy. We've got to make sure we play with the same type of aggressiveness and the same type of discipline that these guys play with.
Do you notice that fast teams seem to play even faster in night games?
Yeah, I've been through some night games where you think a defense can run, and all of a sudden it's like, wow. Especially Halloween, I've had a couple of those too. So you never know. But it's going to be I'm sure it'll be a great atmosphere. Looking forward to it. A Thursday night game, and we just, we're kicking off second half of our season, and we just, our motto right now is go 1-0. It's meetings. It's drills and practice. It's those little things. We just got to keep getting better and not look at the big picture, not look at the scoreboard. Just go out there and do your job.
Matt, when you came aboard, it was right at the NFL draft deadline for Colton. He might have already made a decision. Do you remember having even a day of input on whether he was
No,
going back?
I saw that tweet. I think right after they announced Coach Brown, I wasn't in the picture or anything. I'm sure glad he stayed. And I think he is too. I don't know if you guys have asked him that, but he's made himself a better player. He's definitely the best player on the field when you flip on our film offensively. He's a lot more aggressive than he was in the past. Plays a lot harder. He's really developed some leadership skills. Technique-wise, I feel like he's gotten better. He's gotten stronger. So, every guy that comes in here to watch him, I tell him, I said, don't talk to me about him until you watch him play this year, and then I'll talk to you. And then they're everybody's come through here from an NFL scout standpoint. They're pleased with what he's doing. So, got to keep it rolling.
And what's the difference of him having a full season at left tackle, having already put together some tape at right tackle?
Oh, it's huge. It just shows that, he played guard in Oklahoma game last year. Played right tackle all year. He's played left tackle. Can he snap? Probably can. He's a really smart football kid. He studies really, really hard, takes great notes. He's everything that you could ask for as far as an offensive lineman when it comes to preparing for the game and preparing his body. And he's very mature in his approach to all that stuff. And it's great for me because I want these younger, it's great for these younger, you can explain that to people, but when they see it firsthand, and that's where we had a lot of success at Troy. I had Antonio Garcia my first couple of years. He was a 3rd-round draft pick, and he worked like that. And the rest of those young guys could see him work like that. You know, as I left, we had 4 of our 5 were all conference players. So that's what I'm trying to build, the same thing here. And it really helps to have a guy in the room like that where they can directly see it every day in film, on the field, and understand how it's supposed to be done.
Bryson was kind of in the soup the last couple of weeks with the guys he was facing against Oklahoma.
Yep, still there. Got another one this week, guys. 6'1", 330 pounds. He's been hard to control. Everybody that's played him, he's a little different than the guy at Oklahoma. Was a little more twitchy and a little faster. But this kid's huge, and you know it's the part of what's coming. You know, when you're in the Big 12 and you're playing offensive line, you got to be able to handle nose guards. And he did a good job versus Oklahoma. He did a good job in pass protection. So you know, it's just each week he's getting a new challenge. And you know, we help him out. We're trying to scheme wise help him out as much as we can. But it's going to be another week for him where he's got to grow up a little bit. And, you know, these challenges are going to do nothing but make him better down the road.
And Matt, Vic was talking about the cyclical nature of offenses and how maybe just naturally the Big 12 is getting back to run first, maybe run off as opposed to just pass. But like defensively, do you see like more run stop defensive ends and not pass rushers who are highly recruited before it's a takedown quarterbacks?
Yeah, you know, like this week, these guys, the same thing, you know, they're playing with basically 3 defensive tackles up front. You know, they get their pressure off blitzing linebackers, and you know, and those backers can drop in coverage. You got nowhere to go with the ball. But yeah, I agree with you. You don't see. Well, first of all, they're really hard to find.
Right.
You know, those guys, and that's why they pay them so much in the NFL. They're really hard to find those dudes that can come off the edge and put that pressure on the quarterback. But yeah, you don't see as much just straight speed rushers on the edge in this league as you used to. You see a lot more run stoppers and then playing coverage on the back end.
Noses too, just the mountains in the middle that take out 2 blockers.
Say it again.
Just the noses in the middle too, just enormous guys who take out 2 blockers.
Yeah, that's what they try to do. They try to keep O-linemen off of their linebackers, let their linebackers run. They're trying to eat up O-linemen, and they do a really good job of it. All 3 of their guys are, you know, close to 2 of them are 300 pounds or plus, and then the other one's a big guy. So they do a good job of holding those gaps and trying to keep those O-linemen from getting to the second level.
Matt, earlier this season, you talked about Sam James being an eraser, a guy who can help when things aren't going so well. You haven't really seen much of that from other guys throughout the year. Is that something you can develop, or does a guy just kind of have to have that?
Well, Sam will get better at it as he gets older. I mean, you got some guys who have it in them, but they just hadn't shown it yet. They hadn't, you know, they hadn't made those plays in games, and that's where that's got to happen. It's got to occur in games where you see, hey, they can, you know, all of a sudden you give up a lost yardage run in your second 15. You need that guy that can get 12 yards off an easy throw and catch, make a guy miss. You know, there's been a lot of them around here. That's what you got to have to be good on offense. It's hard to be just consistent enough where you're getting 3 or 4 yards every play. You got to have a guy that can get you 12 and break a tackle. So we've got some guys who have the ability, but they hadn't done it yet.
Is TJ kind of falling in
Oh
that
yeah,
category the last couple
he's
weeks?
definitely over the past several games worked him. So there's no doubt he's had some huge plays. You know, 2 guys, and we just got to keep working and try to develop that 3rd guy, then that 4th guy, and that's when it becomes a lot easier being a line coach. When you got 4 or 5 of those guys running around.
I know you guys have been trying to hit on explosive plays. Of course, Baylor's allowed the fewest in the league. You know, what can you do, and what have they done well?
Well, you got to be able to run the ball so they move people close to the line of scrimmage so you can actually get an explosive play. But when they play with 3 safeties like they've been doing, it's hard to get an explosive play. You got too many people, you know, back deep, and you got to be able to force the run enough to where they have to come up and stop it, and then you can get some big plays. But they're really, really patient. They'll give up some runs for 3, 4 yards. A lot of defense coordinators are going to come down and try to stop it right now, but they're pretty patient about it and let you see if you can drive the field on.
Matt, the thing that Coach Brown has been selling and pushing for this week is the reset.
Yeah.
I think personally, if you have that little bit of free time, what do you do to reset?
Myself,
Yeah.
you know, I just try to get a half day with the family and just go home and relax and just, you know, realize there's a lot more to this than just playing football and coaching football. So, you know, if I can get a half a day to sit down and relax with the family, that's what I try to do. No golf for me, no fishing, I just want to sit at the house and relax, watch other people sweat on Saturdays.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.